I always had in my head, why me? Why me? There's millions of people in the world. And I ended up with a disability. My name's Jordan Myers, I'm 27, I'm from Leeds, and I was born with Spina Bifida and Hydrocephalus. Growing up with a disability, it has its fair share of disadvantages. I mean, when I was growing up, I always had the question of why me, and I always thought that I was the only disabled person in the world. When you see normal kids out in the playground playing with their friends, and you're sat there on the sidelines because you can't do that, that takes its toll. I wasn't satisfied in myself. I'd blame myself for not being able to do it. I always thought that, that looks easy. You know, seeing the normal kids do it and you think that's easy. And then you try it with the problems that you've got, and it's very difficult. You then get frustrated in yourself because you can't do it as well as they can. And as a child, you haven't got the mental ability to realise that what you have is somewhat different. You think in your mind that you're like everybody else, but you're not. In school, I felt segregated. You know, I felt apart from everybody else. Being a child with a disability, it makes you a target for the normal people, like bullies and stuff. It makes you a target because most of us can't fight back, or most of us don't like to fight back. People think that they can just take advantage, and that's where it becomes a bit more of a challenge. And I was quite an angry child because of it. You know, the name calling me like cripple and spaz and all that stuff. You know, people would grab onto the back of the wheelchair and they'd push me down the halls as fast as they could. You know, try to take me out of it. Or they'd lock a door so that I couldn't get to lesson. Or they'd throw stuff at me in lesson. But for me, I thought they was doing it because of my disability. And I didn't know why. I think because they didn't know and they didn't understand the problems that people with disabilities had, I believe that they was just acting out because they didn't know. But I believe that if they did know, there wouldn't be as many bullies. You know, I don't think there was as much awareness then as there is now. Bullying affected me quite badly. Obviously, a bully is quite a tough person, so for me, I didn't stand up to a bully. I'd just bottle it, and I'd hide it, and then I'd go home having the worst day ever, and then I would take it out on family members. I made my mum quite nervous with how bad my behaviour was. She spent the last 16 years waiting on me hand and foot, and then I'd take it out on her. She would take me to hospital appointments. You know, she would change my dressing, she would order my medical supplies, she would cook my tea, she would do everything. And for me to sit and say that I made my mother nervous, even as an adult, it just saddens me. But when I can walk, I feel great until I see a reflection. Because to me, in my mind, when I'm walking like a normal human. You know, I'm walking like a normal person. And then I'll catch my reflection in the mirror and I'll see, you know, my hips moving, my knees going inwards and a wobble. And it's hard to believe that that is actually me, because I don't see that. I don't think it's ever going to change. I don't think my ability is ever going to get better. I think the only thing that will get better is my ability to understand it. I think the biggest issue that I have as well is not being able to find the thing that everybody wants, which is a relationship and children. I've got 2 godchildren, which I love very much. I see them as much as I can. They're very, very important to me. I'm against having children of my own. There's times where I've thought I've wanted one, but then I don't, because I'm scared. Because if I do have a child, there's a 50% chance that that child will be disabled like myself. And I know it sounds selfish of me, you know, not wanting to rear a child because of a disability, but I don't want that child having to go through the same that I have. And I didn't want to accept that I was disabled. I didn't want to accept that I couldn't do this. When people stare, they don't ask, they just stare and then throw you a mucky look and walk and keep walking. That's the judgment side before they've even asked me. My mate said to me that the reason that people stare was that I'm an exception to the rule, because they've never seen that, because most disabled people don't get out. And that's what changed my mind to appreciation. Now, my mindset is, I am who I am, plain and simple. I am who I am. Because how can I, as a person, want anybody else to accept me when I can't even accept me? My biggest goal is to just inspire people, just one, to keep going, and two, to never live in fear of your own emotion or your own mind. I'm so independent in myself. Even doing my washing, I can do my own washing. You know, I can't walk and do it, but I can shuffle around on my bum and do it. So I'm finding ways that suit me to be able to do things. People say, oh, you can't do this or you can't do that. But my philosophy now is, watch me. Because now I'm not afraid to try. You know, I'm not afraid to try something new. I'm not afraid to at least give it somewhat of a go, because then at least I can say that I have tried it, and you know, I might fail, but that failure is worth. Some people say you'll never be out of the wheelchair, and that may be the case, but as long as there's something to lean onto, I can walk.